Tonight, we bring you a very special episode of Dateline, following one man's journey with younger onset dementia. Greg Kelly was diagnosed 3 years ago and began the difficult process of planning for his future. As his illness worsened, affecting his moods, speech and even his self-identity, he and wife Janet were forced to weigh up care options. Would Janet care for him at home 24/7, or would he eventually go into a nursing home? Late last year, Dateline followed Greg and Janet as they experienced a unique alternative in Denmark. A dementia village where the focus is on independence and dignity. It offered Greg and Janet a ray of hope for their future. But sadly, only a few weeks ago, Greg died suddenly. So tonight's emotional story is dedicated to Greg Kelly, his devoted wife Janet, and their efforts in raising awareness of the 26,000 Australians suffering from younger onset dementia. This is their story.
I'm Greg Kelly, I'm known as Kel, and I have young onset dementia. In particular, I have frontotemporal dementia and young onset Alzheimer's. Bananas, Peppy. 2 pairs. A jar of crunchy peanut butter. Come on, Peppy.
Dementia is a disease usually associated with old people. But Greg was diagnosed at age 59.
It's all right, I just don't know where to go. I can't. Okay, you now have a champagne moment because I can't remember what peanut butter comes under. I've called it the champagne moment. It's where information gets put in and then suddenly it just goes woof. And I've got no way of controlling it in my head. That's what people with young onset dementia have.
For 40 years, Greg worked in finance, but his dementia now makes something as simple as grocery shopping overwhelming.
We've got everything, Peppy.
For Greg and his wife Janet, caring for their Queensland property has become too difficult.
I just get so stressed about all the things that I just can't do, and I know that you can't do it. And
Honey, I can't talk about this because I'm now anxiety. I'm having champagne again. I can't do anymore, and it's upsetting to even talk about it.
It's a situation they couldn't have imagined when they met 21 years ago and fell in love.
When I saw him in his leather jacket and black pants and his black sunglasses, he walked towards me, and all of a sudden I realised that I was in love with Greg.
But then Greg's behaviour and moods began to change.
There was a time when I went to buy some coffee and I couldn't work out the change from a cup of coffee.
And Greg's a mathematical genius.
And I come home, I was crying, and I said to Janet, there's a major problem here.
At first, doctors thought Greg was depressed, and it took 4 years before a brain scan confirmed the diagnosis.
And he was able to show me on the screen, there is your frontal lobes and they're getting eaten away. And go away and get your affairs in order, Greg Kelly, because this is a terminal illness. Worldwide, the average is 6 or 8 years. Sure, some might go 12 or 14, but some only go 2. Oh, by the way, it's the second highest killer in Australia. What? Why doesn't people know about this?
It's really scary. We don't really know what's going to happen. We don't really know how quickly this disease is going to progress with Greg. And so we don't really know what is where the future will take us.
The Royal Commission into Aged Care has begun in Adelaide. It'll probe thousands of allegations of substandard care, mistreatment and abuse by service providers.
A key issue being reviewed in the Royal Commission into Aged Care is staff to patient ratios. On average, patients in aged care receive less than 3 hours of care per day.
We have a pact, and that is that Greg is never going to go into an aged care facility.
Younger onset dementia affects people aged 30 to 65, and with limited care options, they're often placed in nursing homes for the elderly.
We are not elderly. So don't put us into these homes, right, and think that everything's going to go okay, because we are not elderly, and if someone bloody smacks us or hits us with a pillow, the chances are we're going to get up and smack them harder.
While there are some homes providing excellent dementia care in Australia, they're rare and can be costly.
We're heading off today, which is pretty cool.
So they're on their way to Denmark to experience a unique alternative.
Looking forward to having a look at what they do over there with young onset dementia.
They're going to a village where every resident has dementia.
I think we have a good model in Denmark for our dementia care. I can say we were Denmark's first dementia town.
Hello and welcome. Fine, thank you.
I'm Kel, how's it going?
Annette is the director of the Svendborg Dementia Village.
There live 125 residents in the dementia town, and the youngest one is 45 and the oldest one is over 100 years old.
The village has been created to give residents a normal life. They can live independently and carry on with the activities they enjoy doing, with more staff than residents.
And we have about 120 caregivers or staff members altogether. And then we have about 30 volunteers.
The main corridor has been designed like a main street, with a village shop just like any other corner store, where residents can make their own decisions about their daily needs.
So they've got everything. This one, I want to buy this one. In normal day-to-day life, buying things at shops and using money is quite stressful because I know that I'm losing a lot of maths capability. If I was to have to move into this environment, then I think that it's extremely important that we do have a shop similar to that.
Staff in Australian aged care are often undertrained and don't have specific expertise in dementia. But roughly 52% of the residents they care for suffer from the disease. Here at the village, all of the staff and the 30 volunteers are specifically trained in dementia care.
Vil du have din jakke af?
Nej.
Vi skal lige have vasket håret.
Nå, men jeg har lige vasket, men jeg kommer dernede fra.
Ja, men vi skal lige have sat lidt curler i jo, så du kan blive lidt fin, ligesom du plejer.
Gita, the hairdresser, enjoys the conversation she has with her usual customers, even if they never remember her.
Fordi det giver simpelthen livskvalitet. Det giver glæde. men er noget for hinanden, noget socialt. Det giver dem også som et hverdagsliv, som de har haft. Så det er sådan noget med værdier. Så det er jo, det betyder meget for det enkelte menneske.
Hey Lars. I'm Janet. How long have you been here for?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah. And 37 years old when I got the message from the doctors.
37.
Yeah.
And so Lars, how old are you now?
Expect to be 46 in December.
46?
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg is 62 now.
Okay. Yeah.
But when he was diagnosed, he was 59.
Did you work some?
Finance.
Banking.
Okay.
42
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
Okay.
banking,
Yeah.
finance, financial planner.
I think that when we met that lovely man and he started to tell us his story, I think that was really difficult for Greg.
Seeing people with dementia, it rips at my heart. I don't know the words to you, but it rips at my heart. I can understand how people put up their hand to actually openly come here and live here and be happy here. I don't want to end up even here. I don't want someone showering me. I don't want someone wiping my bum and all this sort of and reality, that's where dementia takes you.
Losing independence is what worries Greg most.
They are down.
Oh, right.
Yes,
Big.
the man.
And they lay eggs.
Yes. I have been here in 3 years.
3 years in the village.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he takes a look inside the private lives of some of the residents with younger onset dementia to get a sense of their quality of life. Ove is 59. He grew up raising chickens and was a hard-working handyman his whole life. And his apartment at the Dementia Village reflects that.
No one can take your jug. You got your name on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Yes.
Hello. Come on in.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
63-year-old Birgit was an art teacher, and unlike Ove's bachelor pad, her apartment is more of an art studio.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that your painting?
That's
as well?
my painting too.
Wow.
Yeah. This is just started over. So let's see how it ends.
You're amazing. You're
Thank
very
you so
talented.
much. And I have my mate here. He lives in the first floor. But we don't live together. We just go and visit and do things together and travel and things like that.
And so you can actually just go, we might go for a trip together.
Yeah, we could
And
do
you
that.
can go.
Yeah, we could.
But you're not kept in here. Like you're
No,
free to just
us
go
free.
out.
This is my flat.
Yeah.
I have the key. I can lock and I can unlock.
Excellent.
Lots of room.
Lots of room. And these are my grandchildren, the small one and the biggest sister.
Let's say that they came to visit. Would they be able to stay here with you?
My
In
grandchildren,
Yeah.
if they,
Well,
Where
if
do
you
you-
could
where do
fit
they
them-
sleep?
if I could fit
If
them
you
in,
could
they
fit
could
them-
just stay here.
They could stay here.
This
with
is
you.
my,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they could come and
This
stay
is my
with you.
place, and I decide what happens here.
Yeah. Your place, your rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important to Greg and Janet, who'd prefer to stay together.
If Janet wants to move to the dementia town, it is possible as well. That's how our law is.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm moving here.
Yeah, you'll be welcome.
I would love it if I could become a citizen of Denmark today and knock on the door and say, can we have an apartment overlooking the chicken shed? And just, write it out.
Each room or each little unit reflects that person's
inner self. And I think that's beautiful.
For older residents who can no longer live in their own apartments, the village has group homes, areas which look more like a visit to Grandma's house than a visit to a nursing home. All of this is part of Denmark's national dementia strategy, with the goal of making the whole country dementia-friendly. They've invested €63 million into developing programs and facilities to ensure that people with dementia can live a safe and dignified life.
Dementia Town in Svendborg is for everybody. It's not only for rich persons, it's for everybody. It's the same rent they pay as they did before. It's not more expensive for residents, but they pay a rent just like you do when you live in a flat in another place, and they pay for their meals. But they don't pay for care and nursing. That's free. And they have paid it through their tax. They're paying tax all their working life.
We got married for all the right reasons, and that was basically, you know, we don't know what's coming up, we don't know what's ahead, and we are and were in love.
Young crier.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice.
But dementia has taken its toll on Greg and Janet's relationship. As the disease worsens, so does the impact.
One of the more difficult sides of his disease is his mood swings. A bit like Jekyll and Hyde, I guess, you know. What I would say is that he's lost control. He will fire up and he will not stop. Greg has been unable to recognise how far he's moving towards an aggressive, violent person. The Greg that I have known for 20 years and the Greg that he's been my partner, you know, we're married. That Greg, a great percentage of that man has gone. I see changes in him now every week, whereas before the changes were months before I'd see a change. Now it's more frequent.
So, you know, you can get very cranky, you can become intolerant. I think Janet wants me still to be the person that I was, as opposed to the person that I'm slowly turning into.
Okay, I love you.
62-year-old Greg Kelly is facing the inevitable decline that comes with dementia. He's come to Denmark to learn about its cutting-edge care, but his thoughts are focused on how this cruel disease is already changing him.
When you've got grandkids and children saying, look, I can't go there anymore and see her or see him. I can't, that's not my mum or that's not my dad. If it was a puppy going through that, you'd put it down. Losing control of bowels and all the rest of it. Are you going to keep that puppy alive for your benefit? Or are you going to understand if that puppy says, you know what, this is too difficult and I want you to remember me running around the paddock chasing the ball?
I choose to have him in whatever form that takes. for however long, and I would prefer to nurse him. I would prefer to nurse him and be with him through to the end.
At this point, it's unclear how long it will be before dementia takes his independence away. For now, all Greg and Janet can do is put one foot in front of the other and enjoy the time they have left together.
If you can't be on a motorbike, then I've got to have something like this.
Twice a week, residents get the chance to go for a bike ride into the city.
I'm sure these electric motors can be hotted up. I'm sure that we can get a few more kilometres an hour out of one of these, so you know, mine might be a bit faster than the rest of them.
Greg appreciates what the Dementia Village offers its residents, but there are moments when he feels like none of it applies to him.
I like to, in some ways, think that I don't have dementia. But when I'm talking to them or when I try to do something, it's clear I do have dementia. I openly say that I doubt if there'll be a cure or something to slow it down during my span with this disease, but that doesn't mean that I don't, pray that it will happen during my time.
Then, when reality hits, the loss of freedom becomes extremely confronting.
Thank you very much.
At Svendborg, GPS trackers are used to preserve a sense of independence. Resident Lise had one in her bag throughout the bike ride.
Hi, how are you? I'm fine. My name is Benta.
Hi, Ben.
Hello. Welcome
Benta.
to.
I'm
yeah.
Janet.
Yeah, welcome. I'm going to show you how we track when they leave the building. We have this one to put in her shoe, and we can track her with this one.
It's like a tracking device.
Yes, and this one here we could put it in her pocket or hide it. And now I can track her for every 3 minutes. There come a new view where how far away from here she is.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one here, when we put it in her purse, it let her take a walk without us. So
I love it. I think it's a fantastic idea. No,
it gives us a lot of freedom, and we can be good friends all the time because I can say, "Go for a good walk. Have a nice time. See you later."
I might write down the name of that.
You do. Yeah. So yes.
Greg likes to wander off.
No, I'm still
I know.
independent.
I know.
I've got Peppy.
Just joking.
I'm all good.
Yeah. No, yeah. He's obviously, but all jokes aside.
He's obviously what? I understood what you were just saying.
Yeah, no, you are very capable, and you're fine to still go off on your own. Yeah. But this is a problem that Greg and I are currently having anyway, where he likes to go out and explore, and it's very concerning. So I thought that GPS tracker system was brilliant, and I have to be honest that it's something that I would feel really comfortable introducing in our life now, but I can tell that Greg would probably not agree to that idea.
I'm starting to understand that people want to know where I am. Look, I'm not ready to bow down to this disease. Trackers in your shoes and trackers in your clothes, great for people who regularly wander off and that sort of thing. I'm just not at that stage at this present time.
As their time at the Dementia Village comes to a close, Greg and Janet have different feelings about their experience. Janet wants to stay.
Very good.
Thank you, Annette. If I was a resident of Denmark, I don't believe that I would be as scared of the future and of my life now if I had what we have just witnessed here in Svendborg.
Greg, on the other hand, is determined to avoid the kind of care a dementia village offers.
Seeing the facility and the way it operates was fantastic. I think for me it would be rather confronting to be in that facility at this stage, because as we drove away from there today and I was looking in through the windows, I wouldn't like to be in there and having my family drive away from me.
Greg and Janet are about to head home to what we now know will be Greg's last Christmas with Janet and his children and grandchildren.
I want to be the person in the world that people are talking to me all around Australia as I go around towing the caravan with my wife, are saying, man, you're still here, it's 25 years or 30 years. Yeah, that's, if you said to me, what exactly is the goal? That is the goal.